Alright, what's up everybody? Team Fury here, giving you UFC 158, our predictions, St-Pierre versus DIAZ. March 16th in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at the Bell Center. Shout out the Bell Center. I went there to watch Jeremy Stephens fight when he fought Sam Stout. Great place, fans are really great there, a lot of electricity in the building, so everybody that's going to that fight live is in for a real treat, so have fun at the Bell Center. Alright, main card. Let's start with St-Pierre, George St-Pierre versus Nick Diaz for the welterweight title. This fight is obviously what's unique and special about this fight is this is a fight for the fans. Obviously Nick Diaz coming off a loss, a suspension, all that stuff. On paper he doesn't deserve the title shot. Johnny Hendricks deserves the title shot on paper, but the fans wanted this fight so bad that obviously George St-Pierre and Nick Diaz are going to scrap this Saturday. So with that being said, good stuff for the fans. I mean, it's always nice when you get to see a fight that, the fans get to voice their opinion and get to pretty much make a fight happen. And that's how this fight happened, a lot of hype. So in this fight, I see George St-Pierre dominating Nick Diaz. Everybody knows Nick Diaz's style, great boxer, great jiu-jitsu, walks forward, very tough, very durable. And then on the other hand, you got George St-Pierre, the best welterweight champion ever, up there with Matt Hughes. But I think he's better than Matt Hughes. St-Pierre, though, his wrestling is obviously very, very superior. He's hard to submit. He's athletically gifted. And I think the biggest thing in this fight with Nick Diaz is he's got better cardio. He's got as good a cardio, if not better cardio than Nick Diaz. So Nick Diaz, one of his best weapons going into a fight is getting people tired. Punches and bunches, volume puncher. He punches a lot. Boom, 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 boom. Makes people tired just from punching him so much. It ain't that he's got the craziest power, but he throws so many strikes that you just get overwhelmed. And I really don't think he's going to be able to overwhelm George St-Pierre. I don't think George St-Pierre is really going to be able to finish Nick Diaz, but I see a unanimous decision. All 5 rounds, I see George St-Pierre doing his thing. Pick him apart a little bit on the feet, moving good, getting takedowns when he wants to, and then obviously controlling Nick Diaz on the bottom and busting him up with some ground pound. The next fight, Carlos Condit versus Johnny Hendricks. This is a very interesting fight. Obviously, Carlos Condit just coming off of a very tough scrap with George St-Pierre. It was a very good fight. Everybody that got to catch that. And then Johnny Hendricks, on the other hand, who's just running through people, just knocked out Campman, knocked out Fitch, and in devastating fashion in the first round, too. Obviously, the guy's got a heavy left hand, but I feel like Carlos Condit is got a lot bigger reach advantage. He's like 6'2" compared to, I think, Johnny's 5'8", and Carlos Condit moves well and mixes it up pretty well. And it's gotten really, his takedown defense has gotten a lot better over the last couple of years. So I see Carlos Condit pulling away with that one with a decision. I think he'll be able to stay away from the big left hand. I think he'll be able to strike. I think Johnny will have a hard time taking him down and finding his range on Carlos. So I feel like Carlos Condit will mix it up with kicks, knees, punches, and we might even see some takedowns from Carlos Condit. Obviously, you've seen when he took down George St-Pierre. And obviously you see Carlos Condit striking, it's very unorthodox sometimes, some of the combinations that he throws, 1-2 low, weird high kick. So I see Carlos Condit coming away with a decision on that one. The next one, Jake Ellenberger versus Nate Marquardt. Jake Ellenberger, if anybody's ever watched him fight, they call him the Juggernaut because he's a juggernaut, man. He's got heavy power in his hands, he's aggressive, and he's got great wrestling. He's hard to submit. He trains with a great team too, Rain, which is Mark Munoz and those guys. And then on the other hand, you got the Nate Marquardt. Obviously, Nate Marquardt made a good run at 185 in the UFC, and then when he's dropping down to 170, he got cut from UFC because of some stuff with the doctors. I believe it was the TRT, testosterone replacement. So he went to Strikeforce, fought a little bit, ended up winning the title and beating tough Tyrone Woodley. So I see Jake Ellenberger coming away in this one, though. I think with this fight, it's going to dictate who can get the takedowns in this fight. I feel like on the feet, they're both very good boxers. They both have good power. I give the power advantage to Jake, but Nate, I think, is a little bit more crisp with his head movement, and I think he's got a lot better jab. So I'm interested to see who gets to take down this fight. But if I had to pick for this one, it's a really close one for me, but I'm going to have to go with Ellenberger. I feel like he'll be able to get the later round takedowns if needed. And I feel like his power is going to be a little bit too much for Nate to really kind of get off on his striking. So Jake Ellenberger, I'm going to go with, man, I'm going to have to go with another decision. These guys are so tough that this is a great card for the 170 pounders because the George St-Pierre, the Carlos Condit, the Johnny Hendricks, Ellenbergers, the Marquardt. These guys are so evenly matched up and so at the top of the level. These are some of the top level guys right here that it's really hard to say somebody's just going to knock this guy or knock this guy out or submit this guy or TKO this guy or whatnot. So those are very close matchup fights. Shout out Joe Silva for making good matchups on this card, especially for the 170-pound division. Anybody that's in the welterweight division needs to watch this card, you know, because a lot of stuff's going to get shifted. Whoever wins these fights or loses these fights. All right, the next fight, Chris Camozzi versus Nick Ring. I'm going to have to go with Nick Ring on this one. Nick Ring is a pretty tall, pretty lanky guy, moves very well. He's a lot more technical than Chris Camozzi, so I'm going to go with Nick Ring, TKO on this fight. All right, the last one, Colin Fletcher versus Mike Ricci. I'm going to have to go, Ricci's a southpaw. He's got a good left hand. Fletcher's tough, though. But I'm going to have to go with Mike Ricci. I'm going to go with TKO, Mike Ricci. So make sure everybody tunes in. UFC 158, St-Pierre versus DIAZ. Once again, it's going to be a historic night, especially for the welterweight division. And obviously the George St-Pierre fight and the Nick Diaz, the fans wanted to see this fight forever. So the fans get what they want, and they're going to get to see this scrap. So make sure everybody tunes in March 16th, UFC 158. St-Pierre versus DIAZ.